Dementia Part 4. I am doing this in not as private an area, so I'm going to pick up the pace. And I suggest that maybe you turn up the volume on this when you listen to this one. I'll also put that in the description so that you're aware this one's a little bit different. So I'm going to address finances, and I'm going to put a link in there to maybe one of the few dementia grants or funding, and I'm going to suggest that you do research and speak with your local aging and disabilities department. The government may or may not have websites that they recommend. Otherwise, you can definitely talk to the finance people. Once you've selected a facility, whatever level it is. So originally I addressed that there's different types of housing. So there's at levels, you would start with senior housing, independent housing, increased care or enhanced care, and then assisted and memory care. And you may also be in what they call senior community or a senior, we'll just call it senior community living. And that's going to be a fairly large complex with multiple services or amenities, and they may be able to address all the different stages and needs. Some are at just 55 and up, and some are like able to do. They've amended the housing to have different levels of care in them, or whether you bring people into where your living situation is. So, of course, all this is going to be reflected in the finances. Like I said, I'll put a link in it. I very seldom address that aspect of it. You're going to research things before you sign any contracts so that you understand the stages and who makes those determinations. So it would be a length of the stay. If you're determined to be a candidate for a different level of care, how soon does that happen? When is it prorated? Is it service-based fees? Some people may not need assistance with prescriptions, but once they do need prescriptions, if they didn't have them, or they need assistance with them because of mental capacity, then how that's addressed may be a one stage of care fee that would be considered a service versus a complete change into a unit level of care. So you're going to break down all those individual needs, and then the independence as far as going to transported events. I don't believe typically that people pay to utilize the facility's bus, and they set that up through the activities director. I don't know that there's any fee attached to that. So there are places that are going to have a one-time non-refundable fee, which I did not get too specific on. And so you may want to realize that there could potentially be circumstances where there's not an opening into a different level of unit of care. I have since found persons that are willing to small talk have said they've been in multiple facilities. I'll generalize, let's say over the past 5 years, maybe decline has required them in different facilities. Maybe they originally started with a spouse and those changes happened, albeit it would be maybe from a 2-bedroom down to 1-bedroom. It may be their financial circumstances have changed. But the transition in general may happen more rapidly than anticipated. So you want to go ahead and address in your care plan how you're going to authorize your care to be paid. Of course, 90% of it is going to be an auto payment. So what I'm referring to is your budgeting, and it may get more increasingly confusing. I'm not going to go into the titles of everybody that you would have to legally authorize. I'm just saying that you need to keep this consideration if you feel that you haven't already established that understanding within your family support unit. Then you would simply start to research which persons are able to do so. At one point, the agencies that were able to come into the home could be set up and paid and speak with a proxy person with HIPAA releases. So again, you're going to have HIPAA releases. You're going to have releases for I think they're called the EFTs, electronic fund transfer, which would just be that they're directly going to take that from a bank. If you want to have an intercessory person who's always reviewing any changes in fees or is transferring funds so that it's budgeted within the account so that the EFT would come from one account, but you're going to have a person in charge that's transferring it from a different bank account, I guess, into another account that's only simply for your budgeting. I've not ever heard of anybody charging individually in a facility. It's usually all inclusive when you're talking about the utilities aspect of it. And then if you are getting any kind of government assistance and you are your rental has got a capacity, typically they don't have a stove, so you may have simply a refrigerator and a microwave, and you plan to do some kind of budget cutting because you're going to plan on going on an outing once a week to do the shopping. You're going to do whatever. I have not found a facility that will reduce anything that's in the all-inclusive monthly fee. So that would be your 3 meals a day typically, and your access to like round the clock access to coffee, juices, a small refrigerator in the community area with snacks and whatever deemed necessary. So the budgeting of your needs, people I have seen working in facilities may have allergies and they have the family pick up their laundry and wash it and return it for them because they're allergic to soaps, and they cannot accommodate them in the facility. If the facility can't meet an accommodation, I'm not sure if they adjust for that, but it is something that's always a talking point. And again, research is in personalized individual care, even if it's financial. So if you have personal adaptations that may affect the overall monthly on your finances, just jot down the things that you think you should bring to the table before you sign the contract. And then, like most leases, they'll mark it with a date and an addendum on that. And I guess that would be how they would address that. And then that would go follow through into the actual care, so that it's administered properly or made available to you, or maybe you self-monitor, like whatever is your laundry day, etc. Do know that they still, I have not seen an inventory on possessions. I don't know that you need rental insurance, but if you feel the need to research that because you have things that are furnishings or memorabilia, something of value that you still want in your to not have to store and keep with you. Again, typically what people do is videotape that and insure it. I don't know why you would not be able to do that, and you could surpass having to deal with like a missing item effect. Maybe it helps and would dovetail with medical insurance if a hearing aid is misplaced, can't be found, eyeglasses, etc. That's kind of encompassing in your finances, insurances, your budgets, and don't think I need to really cover much more than that, but just jot these notes down. Like I said, when you start to be an early stage and you know you're going to be addressing this, it's a very good idea to have a very clear set of plans and levels of importance and priorities. So you're not just having a care plan implemented, you're personalizing it for your peace of mind, and it is a lifestyle that you want to maintain. Thanks. God bless everybody that's been following these. Feel free to share in comments without using names and not writing anything particularly about an injustice scenario. I do believe if you need to utilize advocates, please do so, but it's grievances and comments are kind of fringy YouTube problems. So let's just keep it all with sharing maybe any kind of hyperlinks, or if it pertains to the topic, I would appreciate just reaching out, maybe suggesting another YouTube that you've seen, a channel, a document. This is supposed to be a shared resource and we're supporting each other. So again, thank you so much. Bye.